There you go. We clocked in. We clocked in. What's going on, party people? Now, welcome. If this is your first time here, it's definitely a pleasure having you in. I go by the name of L'Esprit. I am a spiritual healer. And as a spiritual healer, technically what I do, I assist people in healing themselves. And that process pretty much entails, having the understanding of your emotional patterns as well as your intellectual conditioning. And when you are successfully able to align those two together, that's how you are becoming in alignment with yourself, pretty much. And technically, that is what I do. So therefore, spirituality is what I talk about. And, I always like to give a little bit of background about spirituality, especially if this is the first time, so you understand what spirituality is. Now, spirituality is definitely not something, it's not anything that's distant, that's kind of like distant from you. It's not distant from you. It's not sacred. It's not over there, somewhere. It's you. We are all spirit. Meaning, once you understand the mystery of yourself, you reach that Godhead, meaning you get to truly understand everything that you do, all of your actions. And I always, I always like to use, the example of understanding the mystery of speech, which is a mental representation. Do you see what I'm saying? Me speaking to you now is pretty much revealing what I have in mind. And it's being expressed through words. It could be written, it could be, being an artist who's painting something. It's being expressed in so many different ways. So everything you do is a representation of that mentality that you have, that mental part of you. Now, when you delve a little bit more into, okay, what's the mystery of that, of that mental of yours, that's when you realize, hey, it's spirit. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's your birthright. It was a long way for me to say just your birthright. Now, should you choose to activate it, now that's when you become spiritual. Because everybody's conscious, but we are conscious in different degrees. What you're calling dead people, they're not truly dead. They're not, their consciousness is not developed. Like a lamest way of looking at it, they just retards. You know what I'm saying? But they're alive though, okay? Now, if you're coming back, you already know it's that time. Let's get to it. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm going to be talking about to you guys, and by the way, become a Patreon member. Check out the Patreon. This is the type of talk that we do here. And there's a whole lot in there, so let's build a community. You know what I'm saying? Let's connect, as a spiritual healer. So technically what you'll get, I get into details about what the ego is, the false self, and the true self. And also, like, I also talk about other stuff that I'm going to be adding to the program. You know what I'm saying? Like, not just random shit. Like, yeah, I mean, there's going to be a few random stuff. But I think I'm offering also understanding the feminine energy as well. Especially as a divine masculine. It's important for you to understand that. And every Wednesday, catch me, I drop a couple of jewels. I would choose maybe one or two example and kind of talk about it, how different, the masculine and the feminine energy are, but most importantly, how they complement each other. That's all, that's pretty much what it comes down to. So, now we got that out of the way. What I wanted to talk to you guys tonight, technically, as you'll see, the title of this is going to be Life, technically, is a love lesson. But now, it's important for you to understand what love is, because a lot of times people tend to look at love as, being sweet or peaceful. You know what I'm saying? You ain't breaking shit. You don't even raise your voice. Or are you doing something that is good? I mean, I guess for the sake of that, or some people even look at it as just like romantic love. Do you see what I'm saying? Or helping out other people. Ultimately, it's a set of behavior. I mean, you could tie it to some sort of emotion, but that's how people look at it. Well, for me, love is different. When we're talking about love, true love, it's self-expression, it's openness. Because if you look at our nature, that's where you have to understand the mystery of who you are. Everything that we do, like I always say, everybody's looking to put their guards down. You want love, motherfucker. Like deep inside of you, you want it. But most importantly, where I'm going to go with that too, you want it because that's what you are. You want to become that instead of wanting it. I'm getting ahead of myself here. But keep that in mind, that's where we're going. And that's another reason too. Now, when we talk about ethics, I'll give you a perfect example. Spiritual people, or true spiritual people, they're not really concerned about ethics. They don't really talk to you about ethics because they have become that. When you have certain type of understanding, that's why being wise is all about, right? So you act a certain way, you become the knowledge that you have. When you reach a certain state of mind, you become that. Because I remember for me, I felt like, there's technically two paths or two ways. You know what I'm saying? There's like two processes, or I would say two major processes that I went through. The first one was pretty much, looking to understand these things and all of that. Now, the second part of it, is when I become these things, when I became these things. And that's very important because to me, when I truly became that, I felt like, you see when they tell you in the Matrix, like I never used my eyes before. Because, like the first process was, I guess you're seeking knowledge, right? Because the known has to become one with the knower. And it's part of the process. Depending on where you at, where you at right now, you're good. You ain't doing anything wrong, baby. Enjoy the process. But ultimately, the goal is for you. The words has to be made flesh. Hands down. There's nothing else around that. So, when we're truly talking about love, with all of that in mind, love, just like I was saying, everybody's looking to put their fucking guards down. And that's the reality of it. People only bring their guards up after disappointments. So, in other words, what I'm truly trying to say here is that your true nature, naturally, is for you to open. It's for you to open up. That's your nature. That's why you are love. Do you see what I'm saying? And it's the same way when you're in love with somebody else. Do you see what I'm saying? You are open to that person. Do you see what I'm saying? So for me, the true meaning of love, truly, is not just being sweet or being peaceful. And here's something else too. Being in love, you can actually express anger through love. And I'm not talking about jealousy here. I'm not talking about that kind of bullshit. I mean, although you could use that, but nah. In fact, we're going to talk about that. Well, not right this second, but we're going to talk about it too. Where the fuck was I going to go with this shit, right? So, in fact, just like I was saying, because when you open up, the idea of open up is to express, that's why they tell you as a man, if you feel like crying, cry, nigga. Because the action of you crying, that action is also being expressed to you expressing yourself. So that's why I'm telling you, you can actually express anger through love. So meaning, once you open up, the idea is to be open. Feel however the fuck you feel. You want to say, fuck the whole world. You know what I'm saying? Slow down now, all right? All right, relax, nigga. Relax. But you do get the point. I remember, right? Yo, this is some crazy shit. My son, this nigga, I don't know. I bathe him and everything, and then I think I was applying lotion to him. I mean, to his body and shit. And then I had to do something else, and I told him, "Yo, I'll be right back." When I came back, man, this motherfucker, like the lotion, he was he was the lotion man. I'm like, nigga. Now I'm saying this to say, imagine now, right? Imagine maybe if this motherfucker was just playing with fire, or maybe trying to pour bleach without me, what I'm saying, knowing. And then when I come, when I pretty much catch him in the action, yo, my reaction would be, shit, nigga, what the fuck? Stop! No! Like, do you see what I'm saying? So it would be an act of love as I'm open, but I'm also expressing anger. Don't fucking do that, or whatever the fuck. And if you ever been in those situations, it's like, you know what I'm saying? That's why too, like, even in a romantic relationship, you gotta be honest. Sometimes if you want, bitch, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? I love you, bitch. You gotta let the bitch know how you feel. If you gotta call her bitch, I fucking love you, baby. I love you, bitch. What you gonna do? Now, it may not always be something like this, but the bottom line is, if the person is in alignment with you, meaning you both are expressing yourself, she would be receptive to it. Not to hold grudges, not to hold it against you, none of that shit. But anyway, that's what Wednesday, motherfuckers. That's me, Wednesday night, baby. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but the bottom line is, what I'm trying to say is, when you open, which is the purpose of you being open up. Because when you open, that's when you are in alignment with the person that you are. Meaning, you are following your passion. You're doing what you came here to do. Because all of those different passion, those are the spirit revealing himself. When I listen to Kobe or maybe Michael Jordan talking about basketball, like, it's life to them. And there's a lot of life lesson that they got out of it. So any type of artist, anytime you are expressing something that you love, listen, the wisdom's going to be there. Do you see what I'm saying? The wisdom's going to be there. It's like, and a lot of these people, and here's something else too. Like, now you have different type of, like, I'm a priest or a priestess, however the fuck you want to look at it. Because in reality, I'm truly a divine feminine. So a priestess, right? My job is to help other people, as I am conscious myself, then to help other people to become conscious as well. That's my, yeah. I dedicated I dedicated myself to you, and as a spiritual healer, I'm giving. Listen, I'm giving out medicines, but you have other conscious people. That's not what their purpose is, but they are conscious though. They are conscious. They know. You know what I'm saying? They are aware of their environment, meaning they have reached the Godhead, but they only did it for themselves. That's why you have your teachers, your priests, and then you have other people. If you know anything about the Dharma, you know what I'm saying? So you don't have to be teaching spirituality for you to be spiritual. Now, for me, as I stated, hey man, I'm guilty of charge, baby. That's what I came here to do. You feel me? I guess I love you all too much. I love you too much, baby. You know what I'm saying? That's my job. So I'm saying all of that to say, not only to show my openness, how open I am to myself, but that can only be accomplished by me being in alignment with me. That's why I talk about the third person, which is the false self, that we all live by. So life being a love lesson, now that you understand what love is, what I'm truly talking about is that's you being alive. That's what having the human experience is about. It's that love lesson. As a God, as somebody who's seen through the veils, you truly know who you are. Now you become in alignment. You have transcended the cycle of birth and rebirth. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why they always tell you the ones who came down here are the true masters. Because we know, even though people are saying this is the world of illusion, the fact that we know who we are, we able to do it, I'm not concerned with this. That's what makes me eternal, and I may come back again. In fact, I will. But I will always come back, or only come back when certain, you know what I'm saying, when we got to create a new type of energy. And that's what I'm bringing too. Oh, I'm clocked in, baby. Tell these niggas I'm working. Let them know. You know what I'm saying? Because I always show up with the superheroes behind me. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm Captain the World, nigga. Fuck Captain America, motherfucker. I'm Captain the World. You know what I mean? Captain America got nothing on me. We're cosmic, man. So, life being a love lesson, that's what this whole thing is all about. That type of connection. You know, understanding how, because you also got to understand this too. That's why the closed off that you are, being closed off is the foundation for illusion. Because that's why we create a third person. Meaning, you create a third person, you're not acting or living in accordance with who you are now. Now you are worshiping idols, meaning you are becoming a third person. That's why you don't know who you are, and now that's when this illusion, you lost. That's where you get cut. You fell for the okie doke, baby. You know what I'm saying? How did you do that? Yeah. So that's why it's important for you to understand the third person, which is the false self. And I'm only saying the third person in terms of you referring to somebody else instead of you. Not that there's a second person or anybody else, but the third person simply means in this term, or how I'm saying it, is that you're talking about you, but you're using somebody else. That's when you're not flowing with life. And that's where karma comes in. Because karma is to realign that ass, baby. It's not a bitch. I mean, depending on how you're looking at it. You know, there's layers in this thing. There's different layers. Different state of consciousness. And the ultimate state of consciousness, which is the Godhead, the Krishna, or the Christ. But you got to become that, though. And life, that's what the lesson is all about. Meaning, that's what the journey is. Because understand this. There's an in-between between the time that you were born and death. That becoming process. That's what the experience should be about. A lot of us get lost in that in-between. And again, if you're not being in alignment with yourself, because when you follow your passion, anybody, they would have they have a sense of a deeper spirituality than someone else who doesn't follow their passion, bro. You know what? Let me break it down for you niggas. You know what I'm saying? I was flying for a second. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it simple, right? When you look at these people, there's a self-fulfillment that they have. Because, they're not chasing anything. See, when you closed off, you're living by that third person. You chasing clouds. You're looking for other people validation because you're not self-fulfilled. That's why, regardless of how much money you got, it's not going to make a difference. And they tell you that too. If you're not happy with little, you're not going to be happy with a whole lot. Because it's not as good as you think it is, and it's not as bad as it is without it. Like they say, it's not, how the fuck did I say that shit? Life is not as good as it is with having money, and it's not as bad as it is now, you know what I'm saying? So we're talking about that in between. But that in between, which is the alignment, but you have to find that self-fulfillment though. How do you get it? It's got to be in something that you love. Again, open up, but also your heart, your emotion. Oh, I'm emotional like a motherfucker. And the more spiritual I become, the more of the word that's being manifest, shit, I'm emotionally being around here. I'm sensitive as fuck. My senses are highly, like, we live, nigga. I'm emotional as fuck. Woo! You gotta let that resonate with you. Because now you're becoming more in tune with yourself, more conscious of yourself. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, shit, nigga, I'm getting to a point where I could feel myself and the season together. Like, we went from fucking, went from summer, we're getting into fall. I could feel it in my body. I mean, that's the cosmic connection that I'm having. And that's how you become a God on earth. Now, I am a representation of the universe, the zodiac sign, and all that shit. Oh, the word's got to be made flesh, baby. And it's a sense of self-fulfillment that it gives you. Listen, man, like, how are you worshiping idols, man? I'm not going to be hard on you. It's okay. Come see the doctor. That's what I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? Why being hard on you? That's what I'm here for. I'm saying? But for you, you got to allow me to treat you, though. By what? Doing what? Trying to open up. Because a lot of us are practicing, being closed off. We are society, like, the more toxic, understand. The whole third person, the closed off, that imaginary idea that you're living your life by, that motherfucker is the cause of your suffering. And you created that out of ignorance. Because you don't know better. You lost. That's why when you closed off, you have a society. That's why people don't talk about love. Can love pay my bills? Meaning it's not reality. Your bills is reality. You needing to have a hug, you getting married, like all of that is fake to you. It's not reality. So your reality, it's crazy, my nigga. But you're being conditioned to create that reality. To have that reality as your reality. And that's how you're becoming average and you being closed off. So you're practicing being closed off. What you see in relationship, it's niggas that are power tripping. Bitch ass niggas who do not want to be hurt. Now I gotta have an upper hand on somebody else. Because you're a coward. It's fear based. It's not love. It's not freedom. It's not you being yourself. So that's why, as you being yourself, as life being that love lesson, you have to learn how to love with a broken heart. Meaning you embrace the feeling. You acknowledge it. You heal it. There's different layers and different ways of saying that. But on the highest level, what you're doing, you're embracing it. You're not separating your pain from you. And that's what you do when your shadow is being triggered. Now, I was going to talk about jealousy. I'm going to leave that for Wednesday, though. But the part that I was going to be talking about, there's a difference between you expressing anger through love and then somebody expressing anger through not being open, being closed off. See, like when you open up, that's why and I learned that shit a long time ago too, man. My uncle, was the type of nigga, yo, fuck you, dog. Get this shit done. What the fuck is going on? And then that's it. He's done. He has no grudges. He expressed how he feels. That's what he wants to get done. It has to be done that way. That's what the fuck. And then he's done. My dad, on the other hand. This nigga was a smooth operator. You know what I'm saying? But you got to have that spice in you. Do you see what I'm saying? So now by him not doing that, though, it's building up certain things. I mean, granted, when you become the master, like me, I'm still going to express myself. But I do it a certain way. But that's not because, how can I say this, man? It's because I had mastered my emotion to a point where, I'm constantly changing it. Do you see what I'm saying? So even as I'm about to be mad or say something shit, I'm going to find a way of saying it, but I'm going to still talk my shit, though. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm that cute. I'm that nice. That's how nice I am, motherfucker. That's the full-blown fucking alchemist. But anyway, I'm not negating. I'm not saying, if you choose the whole Jesus, going to whatever church he went, where those taxmen or those people were doing what he was. This nigga was furious, man. He started kicking down those fucking tables. You know what I'm saying? This is my God's house. My father's house. Whatever the fuck. That's a true example of what I'm talking about here. There's nothing wrong with having anger, motherfucker. As long as you are doing it openly. Because there's a difference, right? And, that's what I started talking about. But let me just tell you the difference right now, though. I'm saying, let me get my shit, nigga. I got you. Now, it's spontaneous. When you open your heart and you say what you feel, it's you being in harmony with everything that you are. And at that moment, it's spontaneous. It was what it was. There's no grudges. You let it go. But when you closed off, now that anger is built up. That's what you got to watch out for, because when that shit explode, you know what I'm saying? That's when you see motherfuckers who's been having a lot of pain, and then they just wilding out. You know what I'm saying? Start shooting everybody, you know what I'm saying? You say the nigga's losing it. But what's happening is he's been closed off for so long, and that's the difference too. That type of anger is very damaging. Whereas the other type of anger, when you express your anger through love by you being open, being honest, motherfucker, you done with it. That's why for me, I know I learned that very quick too. Like I was using my dad fucking example and my uncle. That's why me personally, like I deal with motherfuckers who are straightforward. Yo, what's up, motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? Yo, what up, nigga? What we doing? What's up, nigga? You see what I'm trying to say? You know, whereas the so-called professional or shy motherfuckers, there's a lot of skeletons in their closets. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why a bitch was not afraid to be who she is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not, you know, that's for Wednesday. Wednesday, motherfucker. Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Come meet me over here, baby. Maybe I should start going live every Wednesdays. But let me see. Yo, tell me what you guys feel about it. You know what I'm saying? I could go live either on IG or motherfucking YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So we could meet and talk some shit. So technically, and just so you know, just to recap, every Wednesday pretty much what I have decided to do is pretty much talk about, you know, having an understanding of the masculine and the feminine energy. And you notice I didn't say male or female. I'm talking about, you know, the energy itself. Because until you understand that, it's not going to work. But most importantly, as a spirit, romantic love is only part of you. Obviously, that's one of the ways that you express yourself down here, too. Oh, you're having a good-ass dream. Shit, I'm not going to interrupt you, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to be not the type of sleep or not the type of dream you don't know, like, you're not having nightmares. When it's time for you to get up, you just get up and leave, baby. That's what I'm doing here, nigga. When it's time for me to get up, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I had a good dream and I'm having a good life. How you want it? But I maintain my consciousness because I'm aware of what the dream is. I'm in control. Do you see what I'm saying? But anyway, that's a whole nigga. Spirit better come through. You know what I mean? Oh shit! I didn't do that. Okay. All right. So now, check this out, though, right? Because when you understand, like, that's exactly what happened, right? So when we're talking about being closed off, you know, people who are not expressing who they are, who are not living their life based on who they are, you know, technically, you know, you had suppress. You know, like there's imbalance. Your energy is not, and it has to, you know, you're just having a fucked up life, though. Oh, I was trying to make it look good, nigga. Like, how there's no like something that's bad. There's no way you can make anything look bad look good if it's bad in its essence. You know what I'm saying? I understand I'm beauty though. So that's why, however, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna see beauty in everywhere, nigga. Every fucking where. Anyway, I'm wilding. So we're talking about the life lesson, but most importantly, I wanted to talk a little bit about being closed off and the toxicity that, you know what I'm saying, that we have in our culture. But most importantly, because of that too, like you can't go like your heart you can't transcend. You lost. That's what being lost is all about. Do you see what I'm saying? But the underlying message that I also wanted to relate tonight when I'm talking about life is technically a love lesson, but it's also you have to shit like you have to understand or acknowledge your denial. Because whatever you're denying, right, by putting the self on the side, meaning by not choosing love, you chose to be closed off. When you don't acknowledge that's what you're doing, that's the reason why you're not conscious. In other words, you're not aware that you're killing yourself, and that's what you're doing. Slowly, too. And the whole culture, the whole society has been built. It had created that world. So you're living in a world where, it's okay for you not to be you. In fact, this is who you should be. And everybody's chasing clouds. Everybody wants to be greedy. It's not a civilized society at all. Now, when you're talking about love, this shit is chaotic, bro. It's beast mode, man. Y'all niggas on some beast mode down here. First of all, niggas don't even talk about love. Now, when you're talking about a relationship, it's technically, niggas power tripping. If it's not that, it comes down to dick and pussy. Do you see what I'm saying? So then that's what everybody's talking about, dick and pussy. And then idols. Making money. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it, but what I'm saying here is that when you create, that's all you know. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why somebody, when you become conscious, money doesn't define you. And everybody tells you that shit too. Money only multiply your personality. If you're a fucking asshole, guess what? Guess you have the more money you got, well, it's gonna be known, motherfucker. Now your fear is gonna be publicly out there. I'm the shit. You report to me. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gotta validate you. That's the world you're living in. Wow. Like when I glanced at it, well, granted, I was part of it too, but I came out. But that's the beauty too of coming out of shit. And that's why to become conscious, ignorance is the problem. So in other words, everything I'm talking about here is the science of ignorance. So for you to become awake, you got to understand the science of ignorance, which is the science of you being closed off. You know what I'm saying? All the bullshit, you're the third person that you're living by. So that's why somebody who's toxic, I'll give you I'm wilding. Like, yo, I used to know this bitch, right? She was a hoe, but she didn't know she was a hoe, man. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, by being a hoe, I'm saying she will fuck any or everybody. And then she thinks she's the shit. Like, I'll bet you, if you think you're the shit, think about it, right? So people would gotta have access. Not everybody should have access to your pussy if you're the shit. You know what I'm saying? You should have limited access, dog. If you fucking everybody. But that shit was funny though, because, and this is a real story though. And then I'm looking at, because, I'm talking to her and it's like, wow. That's not when I realized, but I'm using this example, another example. Someone who's toxic, they don't know that. You only know how much toxic or how toxic you used to be after you grow. So that's why ignorance is what's not saving you, nigga. You not being in connection with your spirituality because you're ignorant. Not because of your ego. None of that shit. You just don't know who you are. Ignorance. Now you created a third person. We are all fueling this society. Now, president is your God, and anything and all of that shit. And a lot of us have a gang mentality too. You versus them. So we are being conditioned in a racist society. And we have adopted those racism mentality, meaning, the group mentality. That's why even when you're trying to get with a bitch, it's a battle between the sexes. What I'm seeing is the battle between the sexes. This shit's MTV, man. You know what I'm saying? Niggas are power tripping. Bitches, well, that's what the whole feminine energy is all about. Bitches power tripping. But you would think that they were open, but it's not true. Because that's why when you open, you don't look for validation. You self-fulfilled. Like, who's going to determine my life? You, motherfucker? How? A certain amount of money that I gotta have? Like, what the fuck? What is it? I'm curious. I'm emotional. Please tell me. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's nonsense, man. Y'all tripping. So, when you are in denial of your insecurities, or another way of saying that you being closed off, that's what your insecurities are. And that's pretty much the basis for motherfuckers who are envy and jealous of other people. Yo, you'll never see someone who's working on themselves being jealous of anybody. If you have, please let me know. There's no way. They just don't go together. Someone who's going to be jealous or envy of somebody else, who's someone who's not working on who they are. They're not changing. They're not getting better. They are closed off. Now, that shadow, that energy, that toxicity is going to be expressed. And that's what you have in your society. A lot of hoes, people, like, it's all mental. It's spirituality at its motherfucking best. Because the spirit is expressing itself. Oh, this is for the grown-ups now. I mean, I just got to turn it, I had to turn it up a notch. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because the spirit is being expressed everywhere. But you can only see it that way when you see through the veil. Meaning, the truth has set you free. That's why I can, like, stand back having my superheroes around me. You can't see them, but best believe they're here, man. Stick your dick in. Stick your dick in. You'll never stick your dick anywhere else. This kind of pussy here, yo, I'm the type of pussy. After you stick your dick in here, you'll never put your dick anywhere else, motherfucker. And that's an all level. That's because you wouldn't have a dick to put anywhere else. I know you didn't know. You didn't know. Hey, man. That's what happens sometimes with being unloyal. Unloyal meaning you're not loyal to yourself. Because the spiritual journey, you got to be loyal to yourself, baby. That's how you become your self-disciple. That's what disciple means. Or discipline, I'm sorry, discipline. Self-disciples. You following yourself. You say, this is what I'm doing, this is what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? We're going to wake up at 6 o'clock, we're going to do this. That's what we're doing, baby. I'm not going to let you down. I had to promise this nigga here. I tell him, yo, I'm going to keep you like this, baby. I'm going to keep you young. And shit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that connection. That's when the ba and the ka becomes together. Your higher self and your lower self. That's that alignment, baby. Oh, I'm talking to your soul. You see what I'm saying? The word has to be made flesh at all times. You gotta be emotional, baby. You gotta be emotional, dog. What you doing? That's being in touch with your senses. But you do that through the spirit, though. You know, that true alignment. So, life being a love lesson, that's what this is all about. You having to open up. Now, through the tribes and tribulations, meaning being hurt, you still have to learn how to be open. And I just explained to you how you could still be open and have anger. And the reason why I wanted to talk about anger too, because generally speaking, you know, there's a certain way spiritual people have to act. Do you see what I'm saying? It's got to be very sweet and peaceful. But nah, nigga, like, depending on how I'm feeling, nigga. And I'm emotional. So you know it's not personal, baby. I just got to be me. I always show up and show out. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's my spirituality, nigga. But that's also what I'm trying to tell you about you, because if you alive, nigga, all of these emotions are in you. And to be healed, meaning you have to acknowledge it. Not put it to, when you put it to the side, that's what closing off is. You closed off and it's building up. And it's being reflected through your behavior. Now they're saying your shadow self. That energy got to be expressed one way or another, man. It's not going anywhere. It's all mental. So when you're not in that alignment, that's when karma is a reaction to your action. But it is an action that is not in accordance with the flow of life. I'm giving you a Patreon talk right now. Become a member, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, now I definitely would like to go live every Wednesday, man, just to get a feel of it. You see what I'm saying? Get to feel you guys, and you know, and I get to be live too, talking my shit. I think I'm better at it. When it's down, I'm looking for smoke. Hey, in fact, yo, this is what the shit. I'm looking for smoke, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Come get some smoke every Wednesday, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Then I should go live, and you know, see, that's what I'm saying, man. I polish this shit. I'm that nice. I'm a gentleman. What you want me to do? I'm a gentleman, baby. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We ain't stepping on nobody's toes, baby. That's how smooth I am, nigga. Like that, baby. What's up, girl? Nah, not you. You back there. Let's go. A badass motherfucker, too. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, shit, I'm wilding. You know, there's like different layers in this. Do you see what I'm saying? And for you not to deny your limitations, you would have to own them, meaning you start taking accountability. Another way of saying, you know what I'm saying, you got to measure, you have to embrace your insecurities, man. You see what I'm saying? Like your edge, embrace your fear. Don't put your fear to the side, but embrace it. Now you know what it is, then you work on it. Because that is an indication right there telling you something. And that's what fear does too. And ironically, or another way of saying it, that's how you learn how to love with an open heart. You are being open to your fear. You got to be open to your fear for you to grow. Now, people who are closed off, they're not open to their fears. They don't even want to talk about it. Like, I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, that kind of shit. I'm showing you the underlining, messages, understanding, and how the spirit is manifesting itself. And how important it is for you to understand, in so many words, the science of fucking ignorance. And I just tapped into that shit tonight too. So in reality, I've been talking to you guys about the science of fucking ignorance, man. For you, how to come out of it. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk life to you motherfuckers. But you got to understand that too. That's why I'm talking about the false self. That's why I'm talking about niggas trying to, keep up with the Joneses and all that type of shit. You don't even know who you are. You're not striving for who you are. You're being closed off. And more anxiety, that shit is building up. And then on top of it, then now we create a society. As you being closed off, now you're teaching your son or your daughter how to be closed off too. So you're creating more of that illusion. Oh, this shit is chaotic. Then now you have a whole society that is toxic. In essence, you automatically become toxic when you not in alignment with yourself. You fucking toxic by fucking default, nigga. Automatically. Because you're creating that separation. You create that separation by creating that third person. When you decide to live your life based on society's expectation, you are hurting yourself. So you have a system that's not for you. The system is against you. Because this life should have been about, don't worry, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. It should have been, that's why I tell niggas, tell me how much you change, and I'll tell you how educated you are. Because your true education, that's why you could see a motherfucker that have degrees, but still a dumb motherfucking life. Do you see what I'm saying? You want to be the smart nigga with a degree and then dumb in life? But see, the thing is, you see, they always try and separate shit. That's why when they talk about street knowledge and then book knowledge, generally what they're speaking about is, when they talk about street knowledge, it means you're practical. But the essence of every knowledge is to be practical. So that's why, understanding is what you need first before you even start reading any book. Because it's not going to mean anything to you. Because you like a blind man, looking in the mirror. What the fuck you looking for? You already blind, motherfucker? That's why you'll see a lot of African-based teacher who was talking about African spirituality. These niggas are not big on books. So niggas who are telling you about the books, they are looking in spirituality through their intellect. But in African spirituality, we're seeking for that understanding in you first. Now, when you can see, you can look at yourself, bro. Now I'll give you a mirror. Now you can fix your hair. You know what I'm saying? You could do all that shit. But because you see, meaning you have understanding. Because there's a difference between I don't give a fuck. It's going to be the same grammar. So if you think learning how to read or write gives you access to spirituality, nigga, you are wildin'. Understanding will do that for you. In fact, the book that you're going to be reading is going to hold you down. Like it's going to fuck you up. And that's how you have a lot of people who are speaking about spirituality, but it's European based. They don't even know it. Because you're a scholar, not a priest. There's levels to this motherfucking shit. There's levels to it. You know, because, listen, man, and I know. Listen, there's books that I read that I didn't get shit until I had to reach a certain understanding. The grammar didn't change. You know what I'm saying? Grammar didn't change. That's why what I'm saying now, it could go over a lot of motherfuckers' head. And I'm not even using big words or nothing. Well, I mean, you're definitely going to resonate with it, though. Because there's an energy that comes with it. I just know, nigga. I'm putting all my emotions in it. Seasoning that bitch. Get your medicine, babe. So, what the fuck? Why the fuck was I going to go with this shit? So to acknowledge, that's why, you know, your attitude towards yourself should be to embrace yourself. Because anything you separate from you, you know, it's going to fuck you up. You're not in fucking alignment. You're being closed off. So just like I was saying, now you have a society like, yo, whatever, like, trust me, man, yo, just YouTube that shit. Anybody's telling you about relationship, it's the battle of the sexes. If you understand what that is. You know, like when you first meet somebody, you don't call them the next day. They're going to think you want them too much. Why is that? Well, if you want the motherfucker, you want the motherfucker, right? You know what? So it's almost like you want to show who you are, but not too much. Because in reality, the goal is not for you to show who you are. Because if you do, you're going to get hurt. Like you got hurt before. And you're building on this bullshit. Now that's your science. That's your illusion. Meanwhile, there are other people who are fucking in love. Who doesn't care about none of the shit that you're talking about. You know, every time we all hear those stories, right? You hear motherfuckers, yo, I met my wife when I was 16 years old, man. I love that bitch till today. 16. What I'm trying to say about that is, what type of game were you playing? So you didn't know much. That's my point. And then somehow it worked out. Okay. Maybe at 16 you were just being you. And that person was being them. And then through the years, you motherfuckers grow together. Who knows? But I could tell you in most cases that's what it is. That's why this nigga's testimony, because they are in love, they surrendered to love. You know what I'm saying? Yo, check out that 82. There was a black lady. Oh man, she was a handful. Those are my niggas. You know what I'm saying? Those are, that's the grammar. You know what I'm saying? Like good ass cooking that I want. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to check out. I think it was a 82-year marriage. Old couple in that Steve Harvey shit. You see how like she even told that nigga, "Why you dragging me into this?" Do you see what I'm saying? Because my love is not gonna be your like, yo, nigga. I don't give not that I don't give a fuck about you, but I'm telling you, you got to figure it out. That's like, remember if you see that Shaggy video, like the nigga was knocking, man, yo, what the fuck happened, man? You let her catch you? Tell her it wasn't you. You let her catch you though, or tell her it wasn't you. That's the type of talk that I'm giving you. And it was funny too. Like that was some straight up Caribbean shit, or nigga shit too. Because niggas are niggas regardless, dog. That's why you're gonna see down south niggas act a certain way. But we all know, even though it's different, we know it's nigga shit. Yo, that nigga energy, man. I love that shit. What? I love that shit, nigga. I told you I'm emotional. I love that talk. Give it to me, baby. You know what I'm saying? Give it to me. You gotta give it to me. You know what I'm saying? And give it to me good. You know what I'm saying? Pause, triple pause, however the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because, not everybody are on every level. You see what I'm saying? But it's all good. Again. I'm fulfilled, baby. You know what I'm saying? I was just lying to you. I was kidding. Nigga, let me be honest. I was kidding, alright? I was kidding. Because I really didn't give a fuck. However you take it. I was kidding. Maybe, if you're too sensitive, well, pause. Shit, you might just pause all the way down, nigga. You don't even have to play, you know what I'm saying? That's your stop. You good. But anyway, so the story or the process of being awakened is a love story. It's you becoming, it's you being open. Not just to the fucking experience, but being in alignment with yourself and also the universe. That's how at this point you become cosmic. I'm telling you, like, the type of shit I'm experiencing, man, I love it. Like, I feel like I'm so much in touch with the season 2. It's like the season, and now I'm just now getting into astrology. But trust me, by me saying just now, it's like on a different level. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why, you know what I'm saying, a lot of us, some of us, after we pass, we become the stars, right? That means you were already that. You went back to where you were. That's how the words got to be made flesh. But as you're making that connection, that being, do you see what I'm saying? That's how they tell you the gods came down to earth. That's how the gods are on earth. You came down to earth. But to be a god, though, you would have to embrace these things, which is your true spirituality, your psychic gift, ability, and all that shit. Like, for me, I'm also a medium, too. And I talk to the livings, too, on the other side. Nigga, I show up with the superheroes, man. I'm telling you. Come on, man. I'm the spirit ambassador, man. I'm saying my shit is stamped from up there, and it speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to let you know I'm a representation of that kingdom. You know what I'm saying? This is what I do here. Been doing, and possibly will be doing again. I don't mind. It doesn't make a difference to me. But but I'll come down to make an example out of motherfuckers in all different levels. Do you understand what I'm saying? To make a difference, not necessarily at anybody, but to shift certain things. Right? That's why we're here. Oh, we're not playing around. I came down, you know what I'm saying, to do business down here, man. We clocked in. I'm on the clock. In other words, saying is that this mission is going to be done. Has to be done. That's what we came here to do, man. You know what I'm saying? Shift the consciousness. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, it's that way. Listen, man. You didn't know I was undercover, huh? Total recall over here, man. We know exactly what we came here to do, and we had to go through those processes. But most importantly, that's why it's important to understand. That's why a true light worker has also have to be a dark walker or a dark worker as well. And I talk about this because for me to talk about the science of ignorance, that's why no matter how down a motherfucker go, nigga, you got nothing on me. I could see you, nigga, because I mastered that side and both sides. A true light worker, you have to walk both sides. Understand the science of ignorance as much as understanding the science of true life or true understanding. Those are sciences, but the underlying of that is the experience, you becoming that. I have become the light and the dark. Meaning I have grasped the understanding. You know what I'm saying? That's where out of nothing something's being made. Like however the fuck you want to look at it. But a true light worker, you know what I'm saying, you got to work both sides. In other words, to be a healer, you also got to understand about what illness. Oh, you feeling this way? That's what this is. I had to know that, though. Meaning I got to understand those different, you know what I'm saying, I got to be in the darkness. Oh, this is for the grown-ups, baby. So, listen, when you get on that other side, there's a whole other type of conversation. And this is why, too, man, I think I'm going to be doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so far, I'm just hoping for somebody to do it because I didn't want to do it. Technically, talking about, because everything that I'm talking about here, well, not everything, but it's a big representation of what the Matrix Reloaded or Matrix 2 was about. And nobody's talking about it. Because Matrix 1, nigga, listen, it was popular for a reason. It wasn't popular because everybody was conscious. It was popular because it was the collective consciousness, meaning it was something that they already know, even though they didn't, think that they know about it. Then when you go to the Matrix 2, that's not what you're looking for. Again, that's when now you got to be initiated now at this point. Because there's a lot of fire shit that was said in that shit. I have not seen anybody talk about it. And I'm like, wow, okay. I had to taste the water first. I'm like, oh, okay. So y'all don't know this is how it is. Okay. Maybe that's why I'm here. Come on, man. We're working, man. I'm clocked in. Because you got to keep in mind, this is where Neo now started to question even the Oracle. Nigga, how do you know? You know what I'm saying? You're not. And in fact, if you look at the whole thing, he didn't go with what the motherfucker was saying, which meaning he didn't go with the prophecy. He said the Morpheus, the prophecy was a lie. Now, what this whole thing is pretty much talking about is that accountability. Now, if you fuck with spirit, you know what I'm saying? Now, it's a different thing. The talk is different. I'm going to save this for the grown-ups, though. You got to take a seat among the elders for that one. That's when you understand you are working together with these niggas. Sometimes you have delays in certain things that have to be done. Well, guess what? They're all working too. But you got to understand what that was about. Yo, if you see the movie Upside Down, yo, I recommend that movie, niggas. Upside Down, when you fully grasp it, it's talking about the spirit world and this world. That's why a lot of shit, before they happen in the physical world, you got to see it in your mind first. Meaning it's taking place on the other world first. As it is within, so it is without. To understand what's happening on the other side, look at what's happening over here. Niggas. Now that's a whole different conversation. Yes, I'm that shit, nigga. I'm living to talk about this shit. But I have also learned from a great master too, man. Dr. Lila Africa, when that nigga transitioned, nigga, you know what I'm saying? He pulled me up. Because I was also transitioning into the African spirituality. This nigga came, and I didn't even know that he passed until maybe a 1 or 2 months. Because when I seen him in my dream, and the things that he taught me, that was that transitional thing for me to get in fully into the fucking African spirituality. Then how he taught me, the very first thing was, there's a difference between what you know and who you're talking to. So as a true doctor, a true healer, he understood. Now, for me to treat these people, that's why he would tell you about, like the science in food. Not necessarily, not just the combination of what's good for your body, but he was telling you how you are being used or enslaved through what you're eating. Meaning, in so many words, you could look at the physical food, but you can also look at the knowledge that's being fed to you. Those are all food. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of you right now, that kind of food's been rocking you to bed. They singing Twinkle Twinkle, you know what I'm saying, Little Night to your ass. You know what I'm saying? You shining right now. You know what I'm saying? You got your thumb in your mouth, you tripping. Especially when you're grown up. Because you spirit. You already got it in you. Do you see what I'm saying? So you're being treated like a baby now. And then you're looking at yourself as such too. But when you becoming a God, you're becoming cosmic. You're becoming in alignment with the person that you are. That's why, following your path, following your passion, you're saying you're honoring your gifts. These are all connection that you're making to yourself. In other words, you are aligning yourself with your soul, and that connection now. That's why you'll see a lot of those guys. You know what I'm saying? Just like I'm saying, like even of those sport players, man. There's a lot of things they learn through sports. The knowledge is everywhere. Everybody's doing God's work. That's why, like, the whole idea by the ninja is for you to be a master, self-mastering. That's why the motherfuckers is telling you, now you know how to fight, but you only fight at the last result. That's self-mastery, motherfucker. You're not showing up that you know how to fight and all that shit. That's why this nigga was telling me there's a difference between what you know and who you're talking to. Simplicity reveals the master. Niggas. Take all that shit in, nigga. Take all of, let it, you know what I'm saying, digest that shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You're not in a hurry, baby. I hope you're not. But anyway. Damn, man, that's like so many shit that could be talked about. You know, that's why being, you know what I'm saying, learning how to be open. You know, because think about this too, like, you know, but you're not looking at your pain. That's why you got to look at your pain as a remedy. It's teaching you. But a lot of us, we have practiced the art of closeness. And that's the basis for toxicity. That's the basis for, you know, that's what the whole third or fourth self is all about. That's when now, you know, you got to have that Gucci purse, you know what I'm saying? That's the life you're living. Or having this degree, or even identifying yourself as those piece of shit. Meanwhile, you're not valuing the person that you are. Your true education is by you evolving, changing, transcending this reality. Meaning you are coping better with your emotions. You are healing the wounded child. That's what the shit's all about. You're coping better with it. You're making it look good. You're a magician out here. It's being said in different ways, but talking about the same shit. But that's the beauty of it too, though. Okay, I get it. I see that. I'm not against that. You see what I'm saying? So, life lesson. Life is love. How the fuck did I say? It's technically a love lesson. So be in love, my motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to leave it there. With that being said, damn, over an hour. You already know I see. Mali.